Okay, I want to address something because for some reason it's ending up on Yahoo a lot, and stuff that's discussed in the Twitterverse is there was a situation, I think it was in New York, I think, somewhere, but a food truck worker got fired because they were pretty active in the Twitterverse. And they posted some tweets or whatever about a large order that was placed by a financial services company. Apparently, the vending truck was up there. They did a $170 order with the food truck, which was apparently specializing in grilled cheese, and uh, and then didn't tip. Okay, now there's a lot we don't know, but apparently they put the workers through a pretty large and complex order. Then they didn't tip. And then one of the workers, who was also a blogger, kind of blogged and tweeted about it. And there was a lot of venom directed at the company involved. Somebody from the company called the employer and said, "Listen, your food cart workers making us look bad. You're fucking us up. Fire them." Well, I got to look at a situation like that, and that is it mistreatment of somebody to not tip? And there's a little bit of a situation when you're looking at what somebody calls high end service versus they just raise the prices because they're there. And it's a grilled cheese sandwich outfit, okay? That's kind of like just raising prices because they're there. And then apparently the people working there aren't receiving a sufficiently living wage, where they're really worried about how the tip works, and that kind of looks like a greed issue. And there was um, a lot of people were commenting in the comment section saying, "Hey, listen, this person, the workers at the vending truck were just being greedy." And we don't know how the price structure works on that stuff. I've got a guy I work with. His girlfriend's been a cocktail waitress somewhere, and she makes big money. Uh, the Las Vegas crowd, a lot of their wait staff people, they make big money. Uh, I don't party in Vegas, okay? And when somebody gets a $150 dinner bill, they're expected to throw down at least a $20 bill. Um, I just don't play in those types of environments. When you're just grabbing lunch, it's like you want to say, whatever the thing says on the menu, that's what I want to pay, and that's kind of how it works. But when you're talking about quasi catering situations, it's traditional that you kind of pay the catering staff a little separately. But part of the problem is that when somebody's not getting paid a living wage to begin with, you're supposed to feel sorry for them, right? Well, there's another way to deal with that situation about whether or not somebody's being sufficiently charitable, and that's command a living wage, especially if you're going into a business where there is a entrepreneurial aspect of it and you're not the entrepreneur. If the entrepreneur is kind of sharing the nature of the business in a partnership situation, then yeah, it's possible to be below minimum wage. On the other hand, if the owner of the business is not sharing that, if they want to have that financial incentive of working you harder, the harder I can make the worker work for that fixed amount of money, the better off I am as a businessman. So therefore, I want to lower the fixed cost, the fixed labor costs, and increase the work productivity by cracking a whip and just throwing bigger orders at the people and just work them at their limit. That's where you need to look at the ethics of the situation in total. Um, in that situation on Yahoo, somebody got running some series of food trucks that do grilled cheese. I mean, golly, man, you grilled cheese maker. Um, we would say something about the nature of the work, but somebody's got to make grilled cheese. But you know what? I don't have a problem just seeing a little bit better price on the menu, and that person makes a living wage off of what they do. The problem I have is when somebody's jacking those menu prices like fucking crazy, like they're starting to do in a lot of the food carts here in Portland. I'm starting to see a bunch of $9 lunch sandwiches, and then you got to pay for drinks on top of that. And some of them are really good. Okay, so they're good sandwiches, but if I find out that it's a minimum wage person who's working there and the owner's not even there, then I don't shop there again. Okay, I'm not going to buy an expensive lunch counter food from somebody who's not making money doing it, and that's that. I'm not going to play that, and I'm not going to feel sorry for have pity for somebody who's working in a business that's overcharging and underpaying on a situation like that. I don't think I want to play. On the other hand, if it's corporate money and the company's buying lunch and everybody knows you got to tip the catering people, it's kind of on them. But that gets into these problems of when a business is stepping from family owned or family run, where the family works there, to a family happens to own it. Well, everybody's in a family of some sort, but if you've got so-called family values in a business where they are oh shit, I gotta go.